Each afternoon, real setups are broken down with entry strategies and the technical reasoning behind every trade. This is today's best trade setups with verified investing.
Welcome to today's best trade setups. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing. We're having a nice sell-off in the markets. The S&P 500 and the QQQ are heading lower while oil is pushing up. Let's go ahead and check out the charts of the spiders, the Qs, oil, and a few other charts for you. So here's this upswing trend line that we're monitoring. Pivot low here, secondary hit, price try to break below it, third hit, finally decided it wanted to break today. So it hasn't confirmed this upswing trend line has broken yet. This is just the first initial selling day. What I would like to see is what the closing price happens. So if it closes at this level at 732 and then can make another leg to the downside, we could be signaling more of a top in the markets than potential further upside. So a couple different ways you can play this. Today, if you're interested in a really, really aggressive level, you have a gap in the charts sitting at $731.34. If it does get into that level, that is an ultra aggressive level. For me, I would be waiting for a move all the way down to 723.81. That's the level that I'd be interested in playing the S&P 500 for a day trade. Now, again, if it does break this level or closes here and makes another move to the downside, there's a couple different ways you can play. You can either enter the short on S&P 500, or what you could do is you could wait for a confirmation and then a retrace of the scene of the crime. It could take out the all-time high again, and then all of a sudden that would signal a retrace, and that would be your move to take advantage of a downside target of $697.20. So that's what I'm looking at in the S&P 500. The QQQ I'd mentioned, you got to look for hidden trend lines every once in a while. And here's this hidden trend line. You zoom way out in the charts. You got a pivot low here, secondary hit, third hit, price consolidated right on top of it. Got rejected when it tried to get above it here. And then as you can see, it did close above and confirmed. So it had a continuation move. And now all of a sudden we're getting this nice sell-off today. A couple different upswing trend lines that we're monitoring as well. Pivot top here, secondary hit. So this is the lower upswing trend line. This is the one we're currently monitoring. Once price action does get below that on a daily closing basis, then it opens up the door to get below this upswing trend line. If it can confirm below the first upswing trend line and then the second one, all of a sudden, now we're going to have a huge sell-off in the QQQ. You could play this a similar way. Once it recaptures the underside of this upswing trend line, then you could short it or wait for the confirmation and then wait for a retrace. This could take out the all-time high at 714, but this would put all the bulls on board. It would retrace after a confirmation, and then you're going to see a move all the way down to about $637.33. The market is starting to look weaker, and now we're actually starting to get a little bit more volatility in the markets, and especially the QQQ. U.S. oil is pushing higher. If we do get a nice bid to the upside or continued move, your first resistance level is $147.61. This is a gap in the charts that needs to be filled. If that happens today, this USO trade looks promising. Knowing that I've got additional resistance at $151.26. This is a trade that I looked at dollar cost average all the way up into that, which I'd add every $1.50 or so higher based on the fact that it's a $144 stock. That's how I'd navigate this. If it does close above 151.26 on a daily closing or on a 15-minute closing basis, I would look to stop out of the trade. Intel's having a nice sell-off today as well. From the highs of yesterday, we are down 11%. Now, it does not guarantee that this is going to be the top, but it is looking a lot weaker. Once you start seeing some volatility in this thing, then we can rely on the relative strength index a little bit more. For those of you who are aggressive, your aggressive trade for a long is $113.01. That's a prior gap in the charts. That happened on Thursday, right before the topping, or excuse me, Wednesday, right before the topping tail was put in on Friday. And then as you can see, Monday, on Friday, it negated the Thursday topping tail. And now we're starting to come back in. So $113.01, again, that is your aggressive level. For me, I would be eyeing $109.62. That is a gap in the charts that once it gets filled, there should be some buyers who step up and drive this higher. I would only be looking for about a 1 to 2% move up based on this pullback. You're not going to get a ton of a bounce in this chart. All right, upswing trend line on Intel. Pivot low here, secondary hit. Price still hasn't come all the way back into this upswing trend line again. So that's what we're going to be monitoring. Similar to what's going on with the Qs in the S&P 500. We want price action of Intel to get this to this upswing trend line, break below, confirm, and then we could potentially play this on a swing trade if you're interested in shorting Intel. Right now, this is the logarithmic chart, by the way. If you zoom out in the charts on the logarithmic scale, you have to zoom way, way out. This goes back to a pivot low, price consolidated right on top of it, try to break below again, and then all of a sudden we have this huge flush out. As you can see, it's kissed this level once, twice after we got back below it, and then it hit it again at about $132. So this right now is signaling to me that the top is in Intel. How it would negate that is if we can recapture this all-time high, confirm above this, and then all of a sudden Intel has more legs to the upside. Right now with this weakness though, it is signaling more of a top than it is a continuation move to the upside. STX, it's already filled this gap right here, a small pullback at $782. Again, we did have a couple of different levels, right? STX, the $800 whole round number, that was where you could have potentially gotten in and wait for a close above that. For me, I'm still monitoring this upswing trend line. Pivot low here, secondary hit, third hit. We did get below it, but then price action got right back above it and drove the price up higher. For those of you who are aggressive, if it can drop into $726.93, not only is this a gap in the charts, but it would also be another hit of this upswing trend line. So I would be monitoring this today for that sell-off. $726.93 is my entry price on STX. Excuse me, knowing that I've got additional support at $697. If you're a little bit more conservative, basically a break of $700 is where you enter a long play. Once this upswing trend line on STX does break, I see a lot more downside. You are going to stop here at 668, and then you're going to stop at a prior gap at 643, and then you have this prior gap right here at basically a pierce of $600. I see it coming all the way back into this upswing trend line right around $550, $560, depending on when it hits this upswing trend line. But that's what I see on STX. SNDK, nice sell-off. $600 or $1,600 whole round number hit there yesterday. And then look at this pullback. We are having an 11 to 12% pullback already intraday. It did get a bounce right off of this prior gap in the charts. So for me, I would be looking for 1339. That is where I'd be looking to play this for a long. Not only do you have this, but you've also got this upswing trend line on SanDisk. Pivot low here, secondary hit, third hit, price consolidated, got close to it, broke below, didn't confirm. Price action then recaptured this downswing trend line, or excuse me, this upswing trend line. So if it does get below this upswing trend line, you're looking at $1,255. So aggressive level, 1339. Upswing trend line is additional support. If it gets down to sub 1300, also this pivot low, and then you've got additional support at 1255. Eventually, once this breaks and confirms to the downside, then all of a sudden, SanDisk is going to see sub $1,000. And I still have it on my radar right now at $665 is for me where the price action of SanDisk is coming. And then eventually it's coming down to $773. Once it starts breaking the support, you could actually see SanDisk coming down to $283.31. This is a prior pivot top that price action has not gotten back to. So long-term investors who are looking to short this, if you got in right in this area or have had the dollar cost average and you have a core position, that is where you would look to take profits. Palantir still targeting this downsloping trend line right here. Nice little wedge pattern. We're having a nice sell-off today. I'm still eyeing 128.06 for a day trade today and potentially even entering a long for a swing trade at $125.05. Micron, look at this. I'd mentioned this upswing trend line. Hidden trend line, just like the QQQ. Pivot low here, secondary hit, third hit, whole round number of $800, got up there, and now we're putting it in a nice little shooting star candle with this nice sell-off. On a technical basis, what we need to happen is this pivot top here and this pivot top here, connect those trend lines or those pivots, and this is where this lower upswing trend line is coming from. You should get a lot of support at this level, but once it breaks, then all of a sudden you're going to see price action coming down all the way to $588.51. That is my downside target on MU. Again, once this upswing trend line does break, then all of a sudden we can see sub $600 or sub $500 on Micron. This thing is way overextended and is due for a really substantial pullback. Celsius, I still have on my radar, $28.20 for a potential long on Celsius. Knowing that I do have additional support, we zoom out in the charts, all this price consolidation on CELH, 28.20 is that first level of support. Could go down to 25.05. But my long level is $21.20. Now, if you're a little bit more aggressive and you don't mind dollar cost averaging, 28.20 is that first level. Add level is 25.05, and then 21.20 would be the stop out level if it does close below that on a daily closing basis. FLNC is having a nice move to the downside as well. Your first level of support on FLNC is this prior gap in the charts, along with all of this price consolidation. On a day trade, if you're aggressive, $20.56 is that area that you could pick up FLNC for a long play, knowing that your stop out level would be any day closing base, any close below that on a 15-minute closing basis, and then look for this gap in the charts at $18.94 for another day trade opportunity. Lots and lots of moves to the downside. Opportunities are starting to show themselves as far as long potentials now. We do have a long way to go on some of these stocks. And if we can get a breakdown, a confirmation, and then a retrace, then all of a sudden we're going to see these huge pullbacks. So anyway, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're following, subscribing, and sharing with those friends. You want them to have the same market information. And then Verified Investing Extras is a new channel that we have. Go ahead and go over there, subscribe to that, and you can get some additional charting action for the markets. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing. We'll see you guys next time in the charts. You guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.